And we are officially live. I never know when I'm running things. But hello and good evening, everyone, whatever your language of preference is. And welcome to another rendition of your weekly CMLL review show here on the BC Wrestle Pod. And you might be wondering to yourself, longtime viewers, hey, you're not the masked dude known as L. Why are you running everything? Well, too bad. I'm just kidding. No, so L is, well, ripping the band-aid off for all of this. It is going to be a dynamic duo for the next month. I will get into it in a little bit, but of course, my name is Mikey, also known as, and joining me this evening, of course, is Papa also himself, Will. So the two of us are going to be holding down CMLL for the next month, and the reason why is L is taking a bit of a hiatus. He is taking a recharge break, so do not worry, he will be back in a month. He is burnt out on the content creation side of things, so he wants to kind of just watch wrestling and veg out and not have to do performances, so to speak, for this. So El will be out for the next month, but do not fear, he will be making his grand return, and ironically at the best possible part, he will be back just in time for our CMLL 90-second watch along in about 5 weeks or so in the middle of September. But until then, it is going to be, well, I mean, technically, it is, the original NXT crew now turned to the duo for the CMLL crew. So Los Chicos Gordos are in the house, so to speak. But we are not alone, of course. Joining us, as always, is our primo, Agent Lo-Fi. He misses a week and we boot those. Wow. No, but so I'm so happy, Agent Lo-Fi, that you are here, primo. You are on our unofficial third co-host, so you're going to be chiming in ever so often. Because it is me running the helm, that means that these are going to tend to be a little bit shorter week to week, but that is okay because there's lots of Lucha Libre action to talk about this week. And I don't know if y'all are ready, but not this Friday, but next Friday is so I can't wait. We're going to get into it. But before we get into our CMLL proper, really quickly, if you like what you see here on the YouTube, the Twitch, or the Kick, you may follow us and subscribe on whatever platform you prefer. We do full-length reviews of everything for real. So whatever your preferred platform is, you should follow us and watch us. But we understand that full-length reviews aren't your cup of tea. But if you still want to engage, you can follow us on all the social medias at BC Wrestle Pod, where we do report cards and fun stuff like that. We also have some merchandise available to you, which I'm posting a link in the chat right now as we speak, where you can get merch for all of our review teams, our summer collection, which goes away at the end of this month, as well as our Pride and our anti-fascism campaign. Of course, also, yes, Agent Lo-Fi, we're going to miss Adolfo. I am super happy that he's taking this break. He deserves it. I mean, granted, he put in a lot of work over the summer, so he deserves this time off, which is great because he's going to come back just in time for the fun stuff here at CMLL. But with that out of the way, let's jump into another exciting episode of Viernes. So we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. We had, well, to kind of throw in a mixed bag, we had some strong folks in terms of everything, which was fantastic. We had some of our crew, or our boys, if you will, from, the Torneo de Escuelas be popping in here as well. We had championship matches. It was wild, which is a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So we kicked things off this past week with a, relevo, so one fall. And of course, this actually sees a lot of some of our boys from the Torneo de Escuelas that we saw a couple months ago. So we see Fury Boy and Pendulo taking on, of course, one of the illest outfits in the game right now in Troyano and Poseidon. So again, for me personally, this is really fun. Anytime we get to see our, for all intents and purposes, our schoolboys who participated in the tournament of the wrestling schools not too long ago in CMLL pop up on the show is fantastic. I cannot wait to see these boys continue to develop. And this was great. I love that our, which I'll bring up your comment in a little bit, Agent Lo-Fi. The fact that we get to see more of the Escuela guys is really fun. So, of course, this was out of one fall. This was really fun way to start off the show. Of course, after a good back and forth, however, we had to have a decisive winner. And, of course, for us, that would be the team of El Troyano and Poseidon taking the victory over Fury Boy and Ben. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, Agent Lo-Fi. But, Papa, also, I want to get your thoughts on this first. What did you think of our opener?
I like these guys. They were fun to watch. I think Poseidon's outfit was pretty badass. Anna's was obviously a favorite. So that side was like styling and profiling. But beyond that, I thought this was a really good opener. I thought it was really fun. I always say this. I say the same thing every time we do this. Like, I've yet to see one that was not strong. Now that some have been stronger than others, but I think in the time that I have been watching CMLL, I have never seen an opener that has just fallen flat, like ever. And because they, all of these luchadors, man, they bring it. Whether it's, that's funny, Agent Lope. I liked it. I love the pageantry of this match. I loved all of it. I thought it was great. I love it. It really got me in the mood for the whole episode.
100%. And so a couple notes from Agent Lo-Fi. Yes, I 100% agreed. This was a fun opener other than what that happened at the end. But again, they were able to rectify it a little bit better. And I 100% agree with this too. The fact that the Escuela guys are now officially on the CMLL roster is great. So props to them. And yes, Poseidon is very much CMLL's version of Fishman. So once again, Troyano and Poseidon do pick up the victory here, which takes us into our next bout, which the Amazonas are back and in full effect. My God, this was stacked with crazy talent. So this was a Relevo Amazonas, so 2 out of 3 falls Amazonas action, where we had the team of La Catalina, Jarochita, and the Capi taking on the team of Hera, Reina Isis, and the Capi of her team in Miss Persephone, which of course anybody who has been following us here at BC WrestlePod knows that Persephone, we love her so much. And I look forward to seeing Miss Persephone as she will be competing in a fatal 4-way for the TBS championship against some other international stars as well. So Persephone is CMLL in that match, but more on that a little bit later. Oh my God, this match was wild. I think they did a really good job, first of all, with this particular match, especially since Persephone and Reina are going to be challenging Juvia and Jarochita for those tag team championships at Aniversario, which makes it really, really fun to watch. And then when you get Laka, who's been putting in the work across here and in the States, as well as Era, who is also to have her own powerhouse set for her. This was so good. This was a proper Amazonas Trios match. Of course, we went back and forth, but after the dust is settled and after everything is said and done for us, it made a lot of sense for the outcome that ended up happening here, which ultimately led to Persephone, Isis, and Hera to pick up the victory. We all know we love the Amazonas here at Los Lobos, but I want to hear your thoughts specifically. What did you think of our Amazonas match?
Well, I messaged you when I was watching this. I mean, this match was stacked. I mean, look at all of the Amazonas in this. I was just like, they would call a name and I'm like, oh. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be on fire. And this was so good. My God. And I agree with Agent Lo-Fi. It's a proper women's trios match. Man, they were teaching the crowd. This is how it's done. We need more of this in all aspects of wrestling. We need more of this. Because, what's funny is I look at all 6 of these women, and I think they're all powerhouses. Every single one of them. Individually, they are so powerful in their abilities, but also in their, like when they were all making their entrance, and this is what I always tell my actors, is that no matter how big your role is, when you walk on stage, you have to believe that your character is the most important character in the play, whether they're like literally like spear holder number 4 or they're like the lead. And these women, when they walk in, they were the most important person in the room, and you could see it in the match as well. It wasn't I'm more experienced than you, I am better than you, I'm the most important person in this ring. And these 6 women are so, I could watch them all day long. This could have been an entire night of just these 6, and I would have been like, hell yeah, let's do it.
I 100% agree. Again, like you pointed out with Agent Lo-Fi, who says this was a proper women's trios match, this is exactly what it was. And honestly, it does a good job because we continue to build up towards 90-second, which then now we're going to space this out because this is going to give Persephone some time since she will be traveling to London this upcoming weekend to participate and represent CMLL over at Forbidden Door. And I'm excited. Again, we have, Persephone, Reina Isis, and Hera pick up the victory here, which was so much fun to watch, and I cannot wait to see more Amazonas action down the line. More on that to come. But we got to get into our third match, which, talk about a stacked card. If we thought the Amazonas was crazy, this is even crazier. So, is a Cyber 90-second. So this is basically a Torneo Cybernetico with all the participants that are going to be heading into the 90-second match. So on one side, we have the team of Dragon Rojo Jr., Ultimo Guerrero, Esfinge, and on the other side, we have Barbario, Averno, El Valiente in this one. Again, these are everybody who's facing everybody at the 90-second radio show. This was wild. Hold on, let me go back. I pressed the key by accident. Just kidding. There we go. This match was nuts as well. Everybody, this is like, it's a Torneo Cybernetico. I was like, all right, bodies are going to be flying. This is going to take a little bit. We get down to the final 2, which is Ultimo Guerrero and two people who have years and years and years of experience. And
I like this type of match. I didn't understand what the hell was going on, but I really didn't care because I just get to watch these guys do their thing, and which I'm not upset with because I enjoyed it. I loved watching El Felino and was it Ultimo Guerrero that were going against each other the whole time?
Essentially, yeah, because El Felino and Ultimo were on opposite sides of this. So
yeah, they were kind of like I enjoyed watching them do their thing. It was Averno, sorry, that's who it was. Sorry, and I loved. I think it was Averno that had the shirt on that was the abs and everything, or was that was that El Felino? That could have been Felino.
Yeah,
but whoever it was, that was hilarious. So, but no, I really enjoyed it. Esfinge, I always love watching Esfinge do his thing,
right?
And I have really become a huge fan of Ray.
Yeah,
freaking love him, and of course, Barbaro is just fun. But yeah, there's nobody in this lineup that I don't like. And Dragon Rojo Jr. had really cool wings.
I'm telling you, the dragon wings will do it, man. I swear.
They weren't cheap looking. They were actually cool. They weren't like, like he went to Hobby Lobby and hot glued them to something. I mean, it was like really like cool wings. I was like, good for you, man. But no, I really liked this match. It was super fun. I thought it was showy, which I'm okay with. I like the showiness of it. So I would have enjoyed this match sitting there watching it. Absolutely.
100%. And Agent Lo-Fi highly recommends go back and watching some classic Rey Bocanero. He was a beast at his peak, which, definitely going to do some of our homework. But again, Ultimo Guerrero is the ultimate winner. And as Agent Lo-Fi stated earlier, this was a nice little showcase of all the participants who are going to be in 90-second go. Knock on wood. But yeah, this was great. So before we get into our, next portion of it, let's have a little bit of an ad break. So again, even though El Bundador is not here, I'm going to carry on his legacy for the next couple weeks. So are you interested? Do you love all the wrestling goodness? Well, do I have the deal for you? We are on all the social media sites and as many streaming sites as possible. We're on the Instagram, the Blue Sky, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitch, the Kick. We have merchandise at bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. And we have a Patreon, which I'm still trying to get that together. But we do have a Patreon. Stay tuned because next week I think I'm going to probably launch a BC WrestlePod coffee. So if you want to support us in any way you can do so as well. Merchandise link is available in the chat that I posted towards the beginning of the show. So now that we are finished with that, let us carry on with the show. So next in our lineup of matches, Papa Oso, match number 4. In our Level Senseo match, I already knew this was going to be a banger, and I had a fun time with this one. So this was a tag team match action where we saw the team of Yo and taking on, Manos Chap. This match was a lot of fun too. Again, The are two individuals who we've come to love over the last year that we've been covering it. Of course, Templario, no secret, is the baby daddy to Papa Oso. And Titan is one of my favorites as well. But I also love Los Hermanos Chavez with this one, of course. And they're also tag team champs as well. Agent Lo-Fi caught me off guard. This match, drooling noises. Yes! I was like,
it really was.
Like, okay, first and foremost, like for the obvious reasons, because listen, it's me and Papa Oso here, so we're just like, right? But at the same time, though, these four can go. Oh my gosh. And I mean, it should be no surprise. Angel de Oro and Niebla Roja are tag champs. The Chavez brothers are killing it. Templario and Titan individually are great. As a team, they are fantastic. This was so much fun. This went back and forth, but ultimately, it would be Angel de Oro and Niebla Roja to pick up the victory over Templario and Titan. And yes, I agree, Agent Lo-Fi. The Chavez brothers are really the kings of near falls. I'm like, the amount of times I thought, this is it. I had such a blast watching this match, and I was just like, oh my God, this was a lot of fun. Papa Oso, what did we think of this tag team match?
It was brilliant, of course. I knew, and it was funny because as they kept, again, they would announce each person, and I was like, oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, all right. Then it was like, oh, hello, daddy. And then it was like, oh, holy crap, this is a lot of beef. And I think, what makes it sexy, other than the eye candy, is the fact that they do know what they're doing, and they do. It is so amazing to watch them work. And that's really what I did. A funny thing is I didn't watch wrestling. I watched them work. I was just watching everything they were doing. Man, the moves they were making. It was just like, at times it was like blurred. It was just everything was happening so quick. And I was just like, wow, I knew it. And I love Templario's new green look. I love this new green aesthetic. Absolutely love it. So, but absolutely. This is if I was to say, hey, if someone asked me, hey, who are as Agent Lo-Fi is saying, or would define luchadors? I mean, these four guys right here. I mean, I would be like, check out Templario, Titan, Roja. I would be like, these four. Holy goodness, this was a master class. I believe, and I'm an outsider, I believe this is a masterclass of luchador style. Like, this match, I would be like, you want to know what luchador style is? Watch this match.
No, I 100% agree with you and Agent Lo-Fi, who I'm bringing into. Like, these four, to me, are good examples of what professional luchadors can do when they are given the proper, well, not only the proper time, but when you allow them to be truly a true definition of a professional luchador, which is so good. Honestly, I mean, we still got two more matches to talk about, which were a lot of fun, but I think from a match and in-ring perspective, I think this was probably my favorite of the entire night. And that's because these four are so good, telling a good story in the ring, and the action was really fun with this one. So I had a blast with this one. But that doesn't mean that the rest of it was not as good as well. So we move on, though, to our semi-main event, which, of course, had to have some big people names and big boys in it as well, which we've come to love. So this was a Relevo Sencillo match. This is Ida, so this was one fall. And this was the team of Místico and AEW's Hologram going up against AEW's Beast Mortos and our favorite undead zombie of CMLL. This was the High Flyers versus the big boys. And I love me some big boy action. Defunto is so good. Mortos is just out here living his best life, who gets to come here ever so often. And of course, Hologram and Místico teaming up was a lot of fun. So I want to preface by saying this, and this might get me in trouble. So I thought this match was a lot of fun, and I thought it was good. But coming off of, the previous match where I was so enthralled, I was like, this was a fun match. I mean, I still take the tag team match for it, but I still had a fun time with this. Yeah, Agent Lo-Fi, this was wild. For all the crazy stuff they did in this match, I'm really confident that they have even crazier match in them, which I think is why I think I enjoyed this too, because they're like, okay, let's show them what we got. This was wild. And then I was just like, I wonder if we let them go a little bit more, and if they go like balls to the wall, how much more craziness can it get? But again, this was such a fun back and forth between both of these teams. And ultimately, it would be the team of Místico and Hologram to pick up the victory over Beast Mortos and Difunto. So, Papa Oso, in our semi-main event, what did you think of this tag team match?
Oh, again, thought it was good. I love the Rudos. I love the Beast Mortos, and I love Difunto. So I was secretly kind of hoping they would win, but I love Mystico and Hologram as well. But I really wanted the Beast so much because I love those two. I love their whole aesthetic. I love the characters. I love everything about them. So anytime they're in the ring, I'm just like, gosh, you guys are just awesome. And I want you to win. They're the bad guys that I like to get behind because they're some of my favorites in the Orudo category. They're so cool. And they're good. That's the thing. They're good at what they do. I do get a little concerned about those plastic chains hanging from the Beast Mortis. I really do. I always think someone's going to get caught up in them. I don't know. Which no one has, as far as I know. But everyone, when he came out, of course, he came out and they were like bright yellow. So I'm assuming that was so people could see them. But this is really good. I really enjoyed this.
Right. And to bring in Agent Lo-Fi a little bit here, to think that not even a couple of years ago, Defunto was at best a second match guy in Arena Mexico. Now he's in the semi-main event. I'm telling you, within this year alone, like Galeon del Fantasma, like everybody is being pushed up, and I love seeing this. And this is a lot of fun. And then, of course, no, it's crazy. Agent Lo-Fi said I never would have guessed CMLL would get behind Defunto the way they are now, which I'm glad. Because I think Defunto is great, and everybody involved in this match was fun as well. Of course, I still miss Mr. Soberano Jr., but hopefully I'm excited for whenever he comes back because I miss him and his clown makeup. Anyways, moving on. Alrighty, that only leaves us with the main event, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about too. So the CMLL Middleweight Championship, so to speak. Sorry, the CMLL World Light Heavyweight Championship. We have the champion, which is AEW's JF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, taking on the challenger in Zan Jr. Okay, so we knew where this was going. This is MJF. Anybody who is familiar with AEW or MJF's work in AEW, we know he don't play fair, he plays dirty, and he has the dirty tricks. So, before we got to that finish, though, once again, this is probably the most Americanized match that we had in CMLL, but I had a good time with MJF. I knew what I was expecting. MJF is out here causing havoc and being a little turd heel. Zando can't put up one hell of a fight, man, but this was only going to go one way, and of course it did. MJF would end up pulling some shenanigans, which would allow him to win. We will talk about what happened afterwards, though, but Papa Oso, before we get to that, this was our main event. This was a championship match. What did you think of MJF versus Sandokan Jr.?
I didn't really like this match. I mean, it was. I say I didn't like the match. I liked the match. Let me rephrase myself. I enjoyed the match for what it was. I don't like MJF. He seems problematic to me. I also did not appreciate him standing on the American flag either.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit because there's a lot of.
And can I give credit to Mr. Noriega, who grabbed the flag and held onto it so that it didn't get stomped on? I was like, yes, I love that. And I know America is not the most favorite place in the world right
Yeah.
I am an American, and I found it extremely disrespectful. I did. And especially from an American. That's the low. That drove me insane. I thought it was appropriate that they put it over Mystico.
Yeah, so let's talk about that ending. So, of course, Khan loses. MJF retains the championship. Mystico comes out. And, of course, MJF and Mystico go back and forth a little bit. Essentially, we knew this was coming. We're going to get MJF versus Mystico at the but now the stakes are loaded, so to speak, because if I remember correctly, and Agent Lo-Fi, you may correct me, I'm wrong. Is it championship for mask or hair versus mask? It's one of those two stipulations. So, but somebody's about to lose something, and of course, Mystico's mask gets taken again. They drape the American flag over me for this one, and I was just like, oh boy, way to go, MJF. You know how to do the thing. And you know what? I have to agree with Agent Lo-Fi here. Okay, that's one thing I appreciate about MJF. He's done his homework on how to be a proper foreign, which makes sense. And Agent Lo-Fi corrected me. It is belt versus mask at Aniversario. So I was like, okay. So Mystico and MJF loses. He loses the belt. If Mystico loses, he loses his mask. So this should be pretty fun. I can't wait for Aniversario. So yeah, that was pretty much our Viernes show. Again, what a way to send the crowd home, like being not the biggest fan of MJF after stealing Hugo's mask again. But it does set up for, and overall, this was a pretty fun show for this past week's, which means now we got to get into previewing this upcoming Fridays, because boy, howdy, we got a lot of stuff that is going down here. So let us get into it, shall we? So this upcoming week, which is going to be nuts and bananas and wild, as kids say, because we got a lot of action going on. So to kick things off for us this upcoming week, we have Blue Shark, Alexias, and El taking on an Olympia. So we get two more Amazonas in here. Then we get into the crazy stuff because Grand Prix week is slowly starting. We are just 1 week out. Next Friday will be Grand Prix for CMLL, which is excited, which means we're getting the participants coming in and participating. These are going to be so good. In our third match, we get in our lucha, it is Team Mexico versus Team Japan. Representing Mexico, we have Max Star, Futuro, and Hombre Bala Jr. taking on Team Japón, which is Japan. And this is, of course, our favorites, Okumura and the Bone Soldier of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Taiji Ishimori. Sorry, I'm such a huge fan of Taiji. I love Taiji Ishimori so freaking much. And I'm so excited that he gets to team up with Okamura and Utani here in CMLL. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Then in a special match pago, which is Mexico versus Unidos, so Mexico versus the United States. Representing Mexico is Espin, and representing the United States is MLW, and former NXT star Donovan is back again and at CMLL. So this is going to be crazy. But don't touch that dial, kids, because things are about to get even wilder. Because in our semi-main event, it is for the New Japan Strong Tag Team Championships. So this is our champions, TJP and Templario, taking on the team of Viano Tres Jr. and El Tres. So the Villanos are about to face for the New Japan Strong Tag Team Championships. But then in our main event, this is a proper Friday main event, which I'm super excited for Regular. It is the team of Leon and Titan taking on the team of Ultimo Guerrero, Stuka Jr., and Gran Guerrero. So Los are in the building. Raise the roof, y'all. So, oh my goodness. This is this Friday. And then Papa also next Friday on the 29th. Yeah, 29th, whatever, Next Friday, the Grand Prix is upon us. And I'm so freaking excited. But that is your preview for this week. So now, all that is left is to go into last. So, I don't have too much of an update of anything. I also will admit I did not have time to finish the slides that I wanted to today, but that is because I started the school year today. So today was first day of school with students, so that was very, very busy. But I do have my news that I want to talk about, and these are a little bit of kind of what I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, just with some short updates. So again, we have a lot of CMLL talent involved in Fightland for MLW in September. So we do, of course, we talked about Templario versus Juan for the championship, which is going to be a lot of fun. And we have some other fun stuff too. We're also getting an uppercut match between Titan and Volador Jr. at Fightland, which is going to be a lot of fun. On the Ring of Honor front, we got a new match made for the pay-per-view, which is happening next Friday for Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. And it is for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, in which we are seeing our champion, Taiga Style Lee Moriarty, taking on CMLL, which is going to be so good. He earned the right about outlasting the 10 minutes and improving ground match. So more CMLL guys in Ring of Honor is about to be great. And like I said, we are also getting Hechicero versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor World Championship, which is going to be crazy. Finally, to round us out, I want to talk a little bit of the Amazonas action, because we have of course, we have one of our favorite Amazonas here, in case you forgot. Let's just put her back on the screen for everybody to look at and be like, yes. We have our girl Persephone. She will be flying to the UK this upcoming Sunday to participate in AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Persephone will be involved in a fatal 4-way match for Mercedes Monet's TBS championship. So it is Mercedes Monet defending her championship against AEW's Alex Windsor, CMLL's Persephone, and just confirmed about 30 minutes ago, Stardom will be sending their monster Bozilla to join the match. Homegirl is like if you took Jordan Grace and stacked 3 of her in one little body. Her muscles are huge. Think of like Beth Phoenix, but like taller and more muscular. It is wild out here. So, do I think Persephone is going to win? I don't think so, but she going to be hitting bitches hard, and I'm here for it. And that's all that matters to me, is hitting bitches hard. But that's going to be it for us here at Los Lucha. Again, these ones are going to be a little bit shorter because it is just Papa Oso and I. But do not touch that dial, because not only next Wednesday we'll be covering this week's Viernes happening on the 22nd, but then we've been waiting forever. The next edition of Viernes Espectacular on the 29th of August is Grand Prix season for the men. So I cannot wait to do that. And then we're 4 weeks out, Papa, also from Aniversario. Like, so much fun. But before we sign off for the evening, let's go over what everything else we got going on this week. So we have finished the first half of this week. We get a break tomorrow, but then we're back at it again on Friday with our TNA Emergence review, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then Saturday and Sunday is nothing but watch along. Saturday, we got GCW Homecoming Night 1. And then on Sunday morning, we have Forbidden Door watch along. And then in the afternoon, we have GCW Homecoming Night 2, which is going to be exciting. And I cannot wait for all of that. So that's going to be so much fun. But that's going to be it for us here at Los Lobos de la Lucha. Make sure that you come back next Wednesday for another exciting episode, as Papa Oso and I will break down all the Lucha Libre goodness. But until then, that is going to be it for us here. From all of us here at the BC Wrestle Pod and, the internet in general. Remember, stay biconic, love yourself, take care of each other in these tough times, and we look forward to the next review. But until next time, it is sayonara, and until...
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's going to happen next time? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.